Hey everyone, Dan at Bushcraft. Well, if you watched my last video on making a dingle stick, you've seen that I showed you my Stanley cup that I like to cook in when I'm out here. And I actually had a lot of comments on that. People asking me about how I got the bail on there and saying they were looking forward to the tips that I would share about my Stanley cup. So here I am today with my Stanley cup, and I'm going to take you guys through, and I'm going to show you the modifications that I've made. I'm going to show you what I carry in it, how I carry it, give you some tips of how I use it, and actually do some cooking in it. So let's start with the carry pouch. Spec Ops brand, not just Spec Ops, but Spec Ops brand. And in the description, I will put their name down, their website down for you guys to contact. Right here on the back, you can see that Spec Ops brand. Their backpacks are the ones that I have carried for bushcraft for years now, and anything that I have tried has not come close. Well, they also make some really cool pouches called X system pouches. There's, I think, 3 different sizes: an X2, an X4, and an X6. This is the X4, and it fits the Stanley cup absolutely perfectly. It's got, you got a buckle, and then you also have Velcro, a little more Velcro tab here, and as I said, the Stanley cup fits perfect inside, and it has MOLLE attachment on the back, so you can put this on the side of your pack, or as I have it set up right now, I have it actually set up to where I can just slip it on my belt. And you know, what a convenient way to carry it. Rather than having it stuffed down in your pack, just have it on the outside, out of the way. So Spec Ops brand, again, these are heavy Cordura pouches, and I've actually had this pouch for many years. So Stanley cup fits perfect inside. And the first modification I made, plastic handle that's on top, I replaced that with a carabiner. Now this particular one is from a company on Amazon called Night Eyes. I don't know if you can see that. Niteize. And it's like, I think, a number 2, but I can look that up for you guys too. But I got rid of that plastic tab because cooking down in the flames, I have had people say that they've run into trouble with that melting. And so I just put this little carabiner on here. It just makes it easier to get off and on, and I don't have to worry about it melting. Night Eyes is the brand. Second modification I made is I just used a drill. I took a round piece of wood, a round block of wood, and I stuck it down inside the cup so that I could push down hard with the drill, and basically just took a ruler and measured what I thought was about the widest spot, drilled a small hole in each side, and then took some 16 gauge wire. I'll show you guys how I bent the ends over in there. You can see that. I just shoved it through and then bent the ends over, and then I have a bail. And so whenever I want to cook, like on a pot hanger or a dingle stick or something along that lines, I can just hang this right over the fire, and it works fantastic. Okay, things that I carry inside. So I've got my pouch, and my Stanley cup's down in my pouch. Got multiple ways I can set it on, out in the rocks, directly in the fire, use the handle, I can use the bail. So, of course, I should say, I also have another method of cooking in here, and I want to get that out first. So down inside the cup, I have a Nesbitt stove. Now, during fire season, when I can't have a campfire, here's a way to have a hot meal. And other times I might be hiking, I'm traveling through and I want to stop and have a hot meal, and maybe I'll build a quick little fire, maybe not, but the Esbit stove gives me another way to cook, and that's what we're going to do here in just a minute, because I've actually modified this as well. So in addition to the Esbit stove, down inside, I pulled these out already. I have a bunch of extra fuel tabs. I have 4 inside the stove. I have more here. And these little wet ones. When the bottom of my cup gets all black from flames or sitting on the Esbit stove, and it gets all black and sticky, I don't want to get that all over my pouch or all over my hands. One of these wet ones will clean that black off really, really well. So I've got some more of those down in here. And then I have a pair of Bic lighters. Actually, I have 2 of them. And I have about 3 or 4 packages of the little toilet papers that come in MREs in there. Those I can clean out the inside of my pot if I've cooked something in it, clean my hands. And I just got this in a camping section, but it's a mini salt and pepper shaker, salt on one side, pepper on the other. And so I have all of those things right there with me as I need them. Okay, on my Esbit stove, as I said, I got fuel tabs in there. Another 4. I also have some little pieces of foil. Rather than cooking directly down on the Esbit stove, I carry a couple pieces of heavy-duty tin foil folded up into a square. That's probably, I don't know, 10-inch square folded down, so it's a couple layers thick. And I'll reuse this multiple times until it starts to fall apart. That way, the bottom of my stove does not get all filled up with that black crud and I have to clean it out. I just cook right on this, and after I've used it for a while, I'll throw it away. And then I got a new one in there to replace it with. So I'll keep 2 or 3 of those in there. And having these vents on the bottom covered up makes no difference. In fact, I actually think the air coming through the side gives it plenty of heat, and the foil just helps to reflect more heat up, so I actually cook faster. Last thing, little modification. I took a piece of a lid off of a tin can and just took some tin snips, cut it, bent over one side. Now, using the Stanley cup on here, I can't sit it like this, so I have to fold it in. So I've measured and made myself a little windscreen for one side, and that attaches right down on there with that little lip that I bent over. Now, if it's windy, I can basically set a rock or something right here. So there'll still be air coming in, but the wind won't be blowing the flame through, and it can't come in on this side. And then this metal lid also reflects more heat, and the tinfoil reflects heat, and all that heat comes straight up on the cup and boils your water or cooks your food even faster. So give me just a second, guys, and I got another cool tip for you, and then we'll get down and we'll actually use this. We'll put it to work. Okay, so obviously you can boil water in here if you're a coffee drinker, which I'm not. I'm a hot cocoa drinker. But boil water in here, cook soup in here, cook stew in here, make pasta in here, whatever you want. But I'll show you one of the cool things that I like to do. And that is the little Hormel completes that they sell. You can get them at Bi-Mart for like $1.99 each. This one happens to be Dinty Moore beef stew. There's also, you know, mashed potatoes with meatloaf and Salisbury steak and fried potatoes and chili mac and spaghetti, all kinds of things. These things are great. They're inexpensive. You can catch them on sale. And just pull it out of the cardboard. Give this just a little squeeze on the sides, like this. And now I will pour water in there and I'll set it on the fire, hang it over a fire, or right on my little Esbit stove, and I will boil this. You know, they say these things are for the microwave, but I boil them all the time, and they actually taste better being heated that way than cooked in a microwave. So there's two ways you can do this. One, you can fill this cup up with a lot of water so that your whole meal cooks, or to actually get your water boiling faster, you can just fill your cup up about halfway, and then be careful, you know, pull this off the fire, use a glove, pull this out after it's cooked for a couple minutes, and turn it over and get the other side real good. The first side will stay hot, and then the other side will boil. Pull it out, and you got an awesome little hot meal. And these things are so much cheaper than MREs. I don't know if you guys have seen the prices of individual MRE entrees. I was looking at a website the other day, and they were $4.75 a piece for just the 8-ounce entree. Some of these things weigh 10 ounces. $1.99. I can get 20 ounces of food, better tasting food, than an 8-ounce MRE. Of course, I don't have the MRE heater. This might fit in. I haven't tried it. Future thing to try. But we're going to do it here in just a minute. Just bend the sides over a little bit. Shove it down in. Pour in water. Set it to boil. And awesome little hot meal in your Stanley cup. So give me a couple minutes to set up. Okay. I got my Esbit stove sitting here on a nice flat rock, and it's cold out, as you can tell by the way I'm dressed. There's still snow out here, and it's in the 20s right now. So I'm going to use 2 tabs because of how cold it is, and I want to get my water boiling faster. And I've already poured water in this cup. I don't think I can turn it to where you guys can see. Maybe, yeah, you can see in there. So I poured water and I got it about halfway full. I got my little windscreen on. I'm going to turn this around. See what direction the wind is blowing here. Can't really tell. So the wind's going that way. Just a little tiny bit. This old man's beard, as we call it up here, is an awesome wind indicator. Okay, actually the wind's blowing that way. So once I light this, I'm going to turn it towards you guys because I want that windscreen to block that wind. So I'm going to tilt this up a little bit here. Get those lit. Just using my lighter. Okay. That is burning. I'm going to turn that towards you guys. And then there we go. So that is my Stanley Cup setup. The modifications, the carabiner on the lid. If I'm wanting to boil water and I don't have anything else in here, or I'm even cooking in here and I can get the lid on, I'll use the lid so that the water boils faster, and I'll have that carabiner to lift the lid on and off with. Again, I got a little wire, bail handle, so that I can cook over a stove. Cook over fire, hanging it off a pot hanger or whatever. And I have my little Esbit stove and a whole bunch of extra tablets right inside. Salt and pepper, lighters, the little MRE toilet papers. Esbit stove has been modified a little. I'm using the tin foil on the bottom. And as you can see, that's not taking away from the airflow at all. The flame is burning really well from both those tabs right now. And I got the windscreen on the back. The wind is actually blowing that way, and it's blocking the wind off. Otherwise my flame, a lot of my flame would be blowing through and out this side. And if it were to get windier and the wind was changing directions on me, I just set a big rock right here in front so there'd still be airflow, but there wouldn't be any wind blowing that flame around. So I'm going to pause you guys for a couple minutes, come back. I'm going to go ahead and cook this for a couple minutes on one side, pull this out, turn it over. Maybe I'll catch you guys when the water's boiling if I can, show you the boiling water in there, and we'll open this up and have some breakfast. Okay, it has been 3 minutes since I paused you guys, and my water is having little tiny bubbles starting to come up. It's just right on the edge of boiling, and I'm hoping you can see the steam. Yeah, I think you can. There's steam that's coming up out of the water. So real carefully, I'm going to pull this off. This isn't hot. And I'm just going to turn this over. There we go. That side will stay hot and get even hotter as the other half starts to boil now. Yeah, it's starting to bubble pretty good. All right, so I'm going to pause you, give it another 3 or 4 minutes on this side, and then we'll open it up and have some breakfast. Okay guys, it's been another 3.5 minutes. The wind started changing directions a little bit on me. So I did what I mentioned earlier. I put a rock here in the front, and then of course I got my little windscreen in the back. So enough air is getting through, but the flames aren't being blown around out the sides, right up under the pot. And if you can tell by all that steam, I have got a nice boil going in there right now. Yeah, I think you can see that steam with my glove behind it pretty good. So it's been cooking for, another 30 seconds will be about 7 minutes of cooking. I did 3 on one side and 4 on the other. I might wait an extra minute or so. Normally when it's this cold out and on warmer days, it doesn't take near that long, but I'm going to have me a hot breakfast. And again, I don't know, what stores you have that carry them. Where I live, Bi-Mart is the cheapest place to buy them, but Denny Moore beef stew is the one that I chose this morning. Hormel completes. Again, my customized setup with my Stanley cook cup stove and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get this off here. And I have a place down here in the dirt to set this for now. Actually, just take my rock, dump this down in the dirt. So one thing, like I said, is on hotter days, I'll use just one of the little Esbit fuel tabs. But on days like today, where like I said, it's only in the 20s out here, I'm going to use 2 of them and get this water boiling a lot faster. So this water's still steaming, if you can see that. There's still bubbles down in there, and it's steaming. So this is going to be nice and hot. You can see the steam coming off the plastic there. Okay. This is what I was mentioned earlier. I'm gonna let this cool for a minute. I'll turn it upside down here and let some of that cold air blow across it. But before that gets caked on there, I'll just open up one of these wet wipes, and I'll get the vast majority of that sticky black stuff off there, and My pouch won't get all covered with it, neither will my hands. All right, here we go. Look at that. You can see that it's hot. It's been probably boiling inside by the looks of it. My little titanium spork that's always out here with me. All right, let's give this a shot. Beef stew for breakfast. Isn't that the way the old mountain men did it? Yeah, that's good and warm. Nice. I'm gonna stir it around a little bit. One end was a little cooler than the other. The other end was really hot. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. That's cooled down. So before that stuff hardens on there, let's take one of these wet ones. Open that up. And show you here. See that? So people look at my cup and say, you haven't used that cup very much. It's not all black. Oh, yes, I have. But there's no sense in having that black stuff get all over the inside of the pouch, and then pretty soon it's going to end up all over my clothes and all over my pack. So there you go. Look at that. So there you have it, guys. My modified Stanley cup, Desbit stove, all the things I carry in it, and a cool little tip on how to use it. Thanks for watching Bushcraft. I'm going to finish breakfast. Take care, guys.